Audience of one.
There's way more of
It's his
you.
item.
We'll do it the
Call to order the City of Riverbank Special Planning Commission meeting. Today is Wednesday, March 20th, 2019. We have the roll call, please.
Chair John Dinan,
Here.
Vice Chair Robert Ball,
present.
Commissioner Joan Stewart,
Here.
Commissioner Melissa Hughes,
Here.
Commissioner Mallory Finrich,
Here.
and in the audience we have our alternate Steve Link.
Thank you, Janet. Conflict of interest. Any planning commission member or staff who has a direct conflict of interest on any scheduled agenda item to be considered is to declare their conflict at this time. Hearing none, I'll open it for public comments. At this time, members of the public may comment on any item not appearing on the agenda and within the subject matter jurisdiction of the Planning Commission Board. Individual comments will be limited to a maximum of 5 minutes per person, and each person may speak once during this time. Time cannot be yielded to another person. Under state law, matters presented during the public comment period cannot be discussed or acted upon. For record purposes, state your name and city of residence. Please make your comments directly to the Planning Commission Board. Do we have any public comments? Hearing none. We'll move to the consent calendar. All items listed on the consent calendar are to be acted upon by a single action of the Planning Commission Board unless otherwise requested by an individual Planning Commission member for special consideration. Otherwise, the recommendation of staff will be accepted and acted upon by roll call vote. At this time, I'm going to sever item 2.4 from the consent calendar. So the consent calendar we can act upon will be item 2.1, posting of the agenda, item 2.2, approval of the agenda, and item 2.3, approval of the minutes of the December 18th, 2018 Planning Commission meeting and February 13th, 2019 Special Planning Commission meeting. Can I hear a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Move for approval.
I have a second.
Second.
Have a vote, Janet?
Chair Dinan,
Yes.
Vice Chair Ball,
Yes.
Commissioner Stewart,
Yes.
Commissioner Hughes,
Yes.
Commissioner Finrich.
Yes.
Okay, that's a passes 5-0.
Thank you. I severed item 2.4, and I had some emails back and forth with Donna because, except for Joan, all of us are new to the board, and this just popped up, this pretty good sized subdivision at Santa Fe and Snedeker. And so, Donna, if you don't mind, could you just give us a short history? And if I read the backup report for this correctly, they are selling this property to another developer, is what I read, so please.
Correct. The property currently is on the market. It has an approved map and actually approved improvement plans as well. This was an older subdivision. It was annexed into the city years ago as part of a larger chunk of property. When the developer moved forward to construct this project, there were some issues with it being a map for so long. And so my predecessor, John Anderson, accepted an application, and I think it was 2014, and processed materials to kind of bring everything up to date. And it was approved by the city council. And then after 2 years, a subdivision map is good for 24 months. And at that point, it needs to have an extension if you want to keep all those approvals in place. And so they did come to us for an extension in 2017 and was granted an extension by the Planning Commission at that time for 24 months, which is what they'd asked for. They were intending to build at the time. The improvement plans, as I'd mentioned, have been approved, and that includes a four-way stop sign at Snedeker and Patterson. And it also includes improvements to the railroad crossing on Snedeker to make it look like the railroad crossing on Claus. So it's a good project, but they are reaching the end of their 24-month extension right now. There is another developer who's very interested in this project, but it's going to take some time to sell the property, transfer all the documents. So therefore, the current developer is asking for a final 12-month extension of the map. So it would be good until March 21st of 2021. No, 2020, excuse me.
Will the planning commission have to approve the new developer?
No.
Will staff have any control over the new developer?
We will be working with the new developer, whoever purchases it, to make sure all the documents are, legally theirs, and to make sure that they honor the conditions of approval and other requirements that have been placed on the project.
Good. Are there any questions from any of the commissioners?
And also, Janet just reminded me, whoever comes forward to develop will have to come to the Planning Commission for the site and design review of the housing products.
Great, okay. It's good to know. Okay, if there are no more questions, I'll take a motion to approve item 2.4, approval of extension of tentative subdivision map 02-2014 for Carrie Pope / Diamond Bar East.
Motion to approve. Second.
Aye.
Chair Dynan,
Aye.
Vice Chair Ball,
Yes.
Commissioner Stewart,
Yes.
Commissioner Hughes,
Yes.
and Commissioner Fenich.
Yes.
Okay, that's approved, 5-0.
Thank you, Jen. Item 3.1. Me and Mike's Pizza, LLC, CUP 01-2019. Request for CUP 01-2019, parent license type 47 hyphen on sale general eating place, closed parent, to serve alcohol, beer, and wine at the new Pizza Plus restaurant and banquet room. Property is located at 3325 and 3327 Santa Fe Street, APN 132-009-060, within the downtown core zoning district of the downtown specific plan. Donna.
Good evening, Commissioners. As you stated, this project is coming forward at the request of Me and Mike's Pizza, LLC. The actual owner is Mike Wharton, who's the Stanislaus Consolidated Fire Chief currently. He has been operating Pizza Plus on Santa Fe for the past, I think he said 6 years, 5 or 6 years. He purchased the restaurant with the conditional use, he purchased the Pizza Plus with the alcohol permit from ABC. At the time that he began operating, actually when Pizza Plus, the original owners, began operating, the city did not require a conditional use permit for alcohol. So the current location does not have a use permit. He purchased the property across the street. Here's an aerial of the site. It's the building at the end of the crosswalk there with the two red roofs. So it's two buildings that are basically side by side, but now they're interconnected by 5 walkways in the building. One side will contain the, let's see, okay, so one side, okay, so here's the site plan. So that you can see that there's street parking and very limited parking behind the building, which is basically what they have now in their existing restaurant. With the floor plan, they will have a private dining room next to a game room, which is then next to the kitchen. Then on the opposite side, the smaller side, there is a banquet room, and then the bar where they intend to serve the beer and the wine, which they currently serve at the existing restaurant. The city has not, we did our public noticing to 300 feet from the property, and he will have to renotice for ABC within 500 feet of the property. Through our 300-foot public notice, we only received one contact from a citizen who was pleased that the restaurant is moving and will be still serving alcohol. Did not receive any negative emails or letters concerning that. If he decides to add on to Pizza Plus, he will have to come back to amend a use permit if you grant it tonight. If he decides to put outside seating with possible fencing, he will have to come back and have a use permit modified. So the use permit is pretty strict. It's only to the two sides of that one building, nothing outside, nothing additional, without further review from you. I spoke to Police Chief Kiley, and he has not had any calls for service at Pizza Plus and has no qualms about them operating with beer and wine again. And so it is consistent with our general plan. Evidence must be sufficient to enable you to find that the addition of the alcohol use to the new location will not be detrimental to the community, the general welfare of the neighborhood. So from my visits with Chief Kiley, it seems like that will be the case, that they've been operating in this old location for a long time with no problems, and then moving across the street, he does not expect them to have any problems over there either. So we believe that it will not be detrimental to the health and safety and welfare of the neighborhood. Let's see. The recommendation is to find that the project is categorically exempt as an existing structure in infill development. And we recommend approval of the project. And I'd be happy to take any questions you might have.
Any questions from the commission? Lauren?
No, I don't think so. Not that I can think of.
Well,
Joan, any questions?
Nope.
we can open the public hearing next.
Melissa? I will officially open the public hearing. And hearing none, public hearing is closed. I have a question.
Yes.
Do we need two votes, one for the conditional use permit and one for the finding that it's not,
No,
CEQA is not required? So we
No.
just need to,
correct. One will be sufficient.
can I hear a motion to approve the conditional use permit?
Move to approve.
Second?
Second.
That was barely a first.
Chair Dynan,
Yes.
Vice Chair Ball,
Yes.
Commissioner Stewart,
Yes.
Commissioner Hughes.
Yes.
And Commissioner Fenrich.
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
Okay, any comments from the planning commissioners on other matters that you might want to bring up or talk about? Hearing none. County referral correspondence or information? Hearing none. Staff comments?
I have two tonight. First, I would like to report as some of you may know, at last night's special city council meeting, the city council approved the annexation, specific plan, general plan amendment, pre-zone, EIR, a tentative map, a preliminary development plan, and a development agreement for the Crossroads West project that you had heard at your last meeting. So their next step is to have a second reading of the ordinance and then the submittal of the application to LAFCO. And then I would also like to mention, you may have seen some signs around town. April 13th is Love Riverbank, and we hope that everyone will come out and participate. Thank you.
Will you let us know when the LAFCO presentation is going to be made, so any of us that might want to attend can?
Sure. My understanding is there's a long lead time to allow them to prepare. So if we were to submit at the end of March, first part of April, it'll probably be on the LAFCO agenda in June or July. And I will keep you posted.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'd like to reiterate some of the comments that were made last night. I appreciate the work that staff did and the quality of the documentation and the reports that we received. It made our job a lot easier.
Thank you very much. We had a good team of department heads and consultants and developers and engineers, and it took 5 years to get to this point, but I'm really proud of all the work they've done.
Hear, hear.
Thank you.
Well, completion of business. I know it sounds strange, but I require a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
meeting is adjourned. And we'll probably set a record for the shortest meeting on record.